What's the difference between off-season training and in-season training for athletes, especially baseball? Watch this.
Our next caller is Isaiah from California.
What's up, Isaiah? How can we help you?
Doing good. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
You got it,
Excited to be here. So I'm 22 years old. I play baseball at Fresno Pacific University, and I've been working out for 7 to 8 years. I just got MAPS Performance a while back. I'm on week 5 right now. And so with that being said, so this is going to my question. So I have baseball. Baseball starts in January, and we're going to be practicing Monday through Saturdays. And then we practice for 3 hours, approximately like 3 to 4 hours a day mostly. Sundays are our only day off. And then starting February, we have double headers Friday and Saturday. So we're out there for like 10 hours to 12 hours, just being out there all the time. So with that being said, my question was, how would I program my workouts during season so that I can be in tip-top shape? And what workouts should I do to be able to stay strong and stay healthy?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, this used to be a harder question to answer, but since we've created the program MAPS 15, I feel like this has solved a lot of issues in terms of like in-season training. And we talked to Corey Schlesinger, and this kind of reaffirmed what we had already kind of worked on in terms of like trying to incorporate something that was more focused on frequency and getting those muscles stimulated, but less on the intensity and less on the volume, which is something that I would scale now. You know, if I was to go to revisit and do in-season training with any of my athletes, like this is definitely the protocol I would send them. And being a baseball player and having like some of these more demanding, like doubleheader type of games, that's where like, you know, mobility is going to be your best friend, priming and making sure that you know, your shoulder is accounted for and your hips, and really making sure that you're reinforcing that with mobility drills. So MAPS 15 and mobility.
100%. About the bottom line is when you're the training off season versus in season, way less volume. So, you know, now you're doing 3 workouts a week, you're doing mobility sessions. Like you go into season, and what Justin's talking about is like 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day of some basic strength training. That's MAPS 15. And what that's going to do, it's going to help maintain some of the stuff you've built in the off season. You're not going to overtrain, and it'll prevent injury. Then when you get into the off season again, that's when you can focus on pushing your body. And I can't stress this enough, especially for someone your age. You have a lot of energy. You can get away with a lot. And the tendency is going to be to add more and more and more. You don't want to do that. What you don't want to do is push your body to its limit. You want to do the right amount that's going to give you the best results. And it's going to be a lot less in season than it is off season, less than you think. So like literally 15 minutes a day of strength training, 15 to 20 minutes a day of strength training is probably going to be perfect
Optimal.
With the amount of practice and stuff that you're doing. And then when he brought up MAPS Prime, that's what you're going to use in your warm-ups. So before you play, before you practice,
in between games.
That's
it.
For
sure.
Then do the MAPS Prime stuff.
Okay. Would you say that the 15 minutes a day, would I even do that on Friday and Saturday, the days I have games?
On the doubleheader days?
No.
No, those are long days.
Not on your maximal, like demanding game days.
Those are the days I would take off. So we're going to send you MAPS 15 so you have that. Okay. So we're going to
that.
We're going to send that to you so you have that. And then also Prime? You want to send them Prime too, Doug?
Yeah.
Send them Prime also. So we send you Prime and MAPS 15 so you have both of those. And so here's the trick. Okay. So I think you could follow MAPS 15 the way it's pretty much laid out, but if you notice anything, any sort of decline in performance, if you notice any soreness kind of lingering, you still got to scale back on that. And the way I would do that, since you already have MAPS Performance and or we're sending you Prime, is I would drop a weight training day and focus on mobility and or priming on that day. So if you find, like, let's say you go, it's Tuesday, and you're like, you know, you're supposed to do another MAPS 15 workout, and you're like, God damn, I'm hella sore from yesterday. I actually would say, you know what, let's just focus on mobility today. We'll hit your MAPS 15.
Just take it right out of performance, your mobility session.
Take one of those mobility days out of performance, insert it there instead of your MAPS 15, and then pick up MAPS 15 again the next day. So you got to really learn to listen to your body and see what it's telling you. And if you feel good, stick with the MAPS 15 every day. I mean, if you're feeling good, ride that. But if you feel like you're really sore heading into that, drop it and then put a mobility day there instead. And then that's, if I was coaching you one-on-one through this season, that's how we'd be communicating is you'd come in to see me. My plan would be to do MAPS 15 with you. But if you're like, God damn, I'm pretty sore from yesterday, I'd be like, you know what? We're going to focus on mobility today. Tomorrow we'll hit your MAPS 15. And that's kind of how I would do that.
And when you say, Sal, when you say about volume, are you talking like reps and weight, or are you just talking like in general, just volume, how much I do it?
All of it.
So volume. So the formula for volume is sets, reps, and weight, right? So you multiply how many sets you do, how many reps you do, how many weight, that equals total volume. If you pull back on weight, you pull back on volume. If you pull back on sets, you pull back on volume. If you pull back on weight. So MAPS 15 reduces all of that, right? Because you're only doing basically two
Just
exercises.
think of it this way. You're going to do less.
Yeah.
You're just going to do less of everything. The biggest mistake athletes make is they train a particular way off season.
Yeah, they try to make progress in season.
Better.
And they're like, oh, I'm going to keep trying to get stronger while I'm playing in this really hard season. And then that's how you hurt yourself, or that's how your progress drops. And then when their progress starts to drop, they think they need to do more. Oh, I need to push myself even more, because the mindset of an athlete, especially at your level, you have the mindset, you have discipline, you'll push yourself through, which is great. But that could be your worst enemy.
Well, the way the mind shifts for me as a coach is when we're off season and every day you and I are meeting, I'm asking you about strength. You feel stronger, and are we moving the weight? How's your form? How's your technique? And we're pushing performance. We're pushing weight. We're trying to get stronger. When we get in season, I don't give a shit about your bench. I don't give a shit about you. I don't care if it goes down. What I care about is how you feel. Mm-hmm. How was performance on the field? Did you play good yesterday? Was your energy levels good?
How's your sleep?
Were you swinging the bat good? How's your sleep? Like, yeah, I'm asking more stuff like that when we're in season, because now it becomes all about baseball and making sure that you feel good for that. I'm not really worried if we lose a little strength on the deadlift or the squat or something like that, because I care about how that translates on the field more than I care about what it does inside the weight room.
In fact, you should expect to lose a little strength in season. Yeah. That's normal with those lifts.
And one thing I do want to highlight too, and you've been going through these mobility sessions, the stick mobility that's in there in MAPS Performance is so applicable to baseball players. And I just feel like it covers wrist, elbow, shoulder, joint health, like better than most of those moves in there. So really highlight that as a focus on your days where you do feel a bit like you're overstressed.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
You got it, man. Thanks for calling in.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Keep us posted how the season goes, man.
Yes, I will, for sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, brother.
Every time I talk to an athlete, and I feel bad for the first young athletes I trained as a trainer, because I overtrained the crap out of them.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
Training
an athlete's
if
hard,
I could only
bro.
Go back in time.
That's kind of the, I don't know. I would say it's up there with like the pinnacle of training. It's like because when you have a client who wants to lose fat or build some muscle or get stronger, like there's a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
It's like, we can have a bad week. You can have a bad week and be programming.
Like the first layer of the onion.
Yeah. But when you get to an athlete, I mean, I can really fuck up a lot of shit. Yeah. So like every little
and you also tend to think as a trainer, I have an athlete on my hands. So I got to do this.
I can push him harder. Yep. I can push him harder because he has that extra gear, which is the opposite.
The first time I pieced this together, I was training an Ironman athlete, and he was so in tune to his performance, and I scaled back, and then I had to scale back, and then I had to scale back, and I scaled back to such what seemed to me an extreme amount, and then his progress started to improve. And then I had the realization, oh my God, I was doing too much with all these poor people that I was training. I needed to bring it way, way, way back. Mm-hmm. When they're in season, they're training so much. Your body can only take so much. So.